after the Department of Defense, Office of Religious Tolerance, attacked Christianity and Christians, making many anti-Christian hate crime slurs, stereotyping Christians as terrorists, and making horrifying statements stigmatizing the protected class under religion, that of Christians, as being a negative stain upon society. These anti-Christian hate slurs were then backed up by the military, bringing in Islamic chaplains to lead regiments in the military and enlisted personnel, of which already stated upon their entrance into the military in documents that they were Christian, their pre-existing religion being that of Christianity, which means that the military purposed to change their religion from that they've already stated clearly was Christianity to that of Islam and to that of New Age, or all paths lead to God doctrine. This violates separation of church and state in state endorsement of religion, as the state cannot condemn a religion nor condone one, and while condemning Christianity, violating separation of church and state, and coming from the Office of Religious Tolerance, then to condone Islam and condone changing the military enlisted's religion from Christianity to Islam, bringing in spiritual leaders that oppose their personal religious beliefs that they've already prior stated was Christian, is state endorsement of religion, that of Islam. Bringing in a spiritual leader that opposes the religious beliefs already stated by the military and the enlisted from Christian to that of Islam or New Age is definitely a state endorsement of religion. It is the state condemning Christianity, which violates separation of church and state, as well as the state making an attempt to change their religious beliefs from that of Christianity to that of Islam or New Age, which is state endorsement of religion, and again violates separation of church and state. Those suffering these actions should begin to document such actions with audio and video recordings of the chaplains, of those they file complaints with, document the complaints filed, getting an attorney, such as that of the American Center for Law and Justice with Jay Sekulow, or the Liberty Counsel, or attorneys representing Christian civil rights. Log and file and document every time there has been an attempt by military officials or those in the military or in government agencies to lead the enlisted into New Age beliefs or that outside of Christianity that they've already noted is their religious beliefs prior to joining the military, their pre-existing religion, and for those working inside the Department of Defense, record with audio and video any anti-Christian slurs or statements or attempt to lead the employees away from Christianity, or any harassing negative statements that violate their Christian civil rights and the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which makes Christianity a protected class under religion, where one can file suit for anti-Christian religious discrimination. For the enlisted, they need to document every anti-Christian slur made by officials, all government employees, any memos or flyers sent out that have an anti-Christian agenda or make anti-Christian slurs or stigmatize Christians in any form. Document and file any attempt to censor Bible scriptures, whether it be posted on your private door, such as a case recently, or in your personal belongings, or what you wear upon your personage. Log and file any attempt to censor your Christian freedom of speech rights, as the 1964 Civil Rights Act ensures your Christian civil rights on the job, which is in the military or in the Department of Defense. The 1964 Civil Rights Act and the Federal Supreme Court rulings more recently giving us the legal right to, quote, adhere to core values, that of Christianity, while on the job or in our own private businesses, holds true for those in the military, as they do not lose their Christian civil rights, their First Amendment rights of freedom of speech and freedom of religion, while on government property or while working as a government employee. This is the law. It is the constitutional civil rights of the Christian enlisted in the military and for the employees of the Department of Defense or any state office. Those enlisted in the military need to know their Christian civil rights do include that of having Bible scriptures posted in their personal private space. They do not lose their Christian civil rights while on government property. The Federal Supreme Court did not find a freedom from religion, as the Democrats had wanted. There is no freedom from religion. The Federal Supreme Court did not find a freedom from religion because our founding fathers stood on government lands when they openly prayed unto God in every session, making our laws in this nation, and quoted the Bible, documented over 15,000 times while on government land and while on the clock as a government employee. This is not a freedom from religion, and the Federal Supreme Court saw that their intent was not a freedom from religion, but rather that they expected tolerance for those that opposed the Christian faith. They openly quoted the Bible and prayed unto God in open and closed sessions in prayer to God while making our laws as they stood on government lands and while they were government employees. This is not a freedom from religion. It would be illegal for any state office, including that of the military or the Department of Defense, to try to stigmatize the Christian religious faith as hate, or trying to stigmatize the Bible as hate or hate speech. The hate speech laws were overturned in the Federal Supreme Court due to the violations of separation of church and state, where they attempted to censor Romans chapter 1, Bible scriptures on homosexuality, which again violated the constitutional civil rights of the Christians and violated separation of church and state and keeping the state out of the church, stopping Bible censorship. The enlisted have their Christian civil rights fully intact to quote the whole Bible uncensored and to post it in their private space. They do not lose their Christian civil rights when going on to government property. Their legal right to adhere to core values and their legal right to freely and openly debate any issue, remembering when the Federal Supreme Court overturned the hate speech laws in the United States, the Federal Supreme Court upheld our legal right to, quote, debate the issues. The military's enlisted has the legal right to debate the issues of homosexuality or any other issue of the day and to state their Christian religious faith openly, because our legal right to proselytize was upheld by the Federal Supreme Court, and it is an uncensored Bible. we have the legal right to, quote, adhere to core values, that of the Christian Bible, without censorship and without hindrance, without being stigmatized or harassed, and without any attempt to violate Christian civil rights in any manner. Again, log and file any attempt by the military or Department of Defense to do so, to save for lawsuits. Save and document. Any attempt, whether through memos or direct orders, that come against your Christian religious faith in the military or that of the Department of Defense, and save this for court. Record any conversations, audio and video, where your Christian civil rights are being infringed, and save these for court. File complaints. Get copies of the policies that they have made, proof for court. You will need a Christian civil rights attorney. Again, Jay Sekulow of the American Center for Law and Justice or the Liberty Counsel and other Christian civil rights groups that take these cases pro bono. This anti-Christian religious discrimination needs to be fought in our court system. Be ready to file lawsuits against any anti-Christian religious discrimination to ensure the freedom and the First Amendment rights, that of freedom of religion and freedom of speech, for future generations in the United States. Fighting anti-Christian religious bigotry and intolerance. This has been another episode of On a Legal Note by Carrie Guerin-Scoggins. Look for more information at Carrie Guerin-Scoggins' Political Newsletter and Carrie Guerin-Scoggins' Political Newsletter, Bible Prophecy Times Edition, Facebook pages and bloggers.